Evening peeps, welcome back to the channel. Tonight I'm bringing you P1RC's Renault Megane Trophy Cup. This is round 5 live from Mount Paramount, or Bathurst as you may know it. So the Renault Megane Trophies, a little bit fiery, a little bit loose in the back end, mid-rear engine cars. Format tonight is a 15-minute practice to start with. My mate Robert Spinner for the win tonight in Panther. Robert Spinner. Who's Robert Spinner? I don't see a Robert Spinner, Mr. Conzi. Sean, you're back again. Northern Lights still not out there now, I assume. So we've got Rear Wheel 72, Raul CM Baba, Pilgrim Paddy, Reg GT. Is that your mate, Air? That's him, isn't it? Robert Spinner. Hyde of Ryder, Stewie Mac, Fizz Ruckus, Dizzy AL3, Big Les Cum, West Ham Daz, Steve Scooby, Zuzims and Winnie currently in the room. Dory's just jumped in as well and then left and then jumped back in. So possibly 13 drivers, hopefully we get one or two more join as well. So I think everybody should know, if you're used to any kind of Gran Turismo, you'll have seen Mount Paramount, or Bathurst as it's known. The mountain section through the middle is tricky to say the least. Oh, you're back already, Sean. Oh, shame. So let's chuck ourselves on track. Let's turn the usual gubbins on. Display all keyboards blickety-bloing. Let's go and have a look at Zuzims. So current championship leader, always in the pink or the purple, or the pink and the purple. As I say, it's not a quali, it is just a 15-minute practice. Results are based on last week's race results. Grid positions are based on last week's race results. I'll just pull them up. Where are they? No, I don't want that. Stop it. Come on then. So, last week's results. So, let's start from the back. So, Baggy Snails was at the back of the pack last week. So, if he's in the lobby, which I can't see him currently. Reg GT just throwing himself off track. Just coming into the hard section. Winnie also just coming into the awkward mountain section 2. So if Baggy turns up, he should be on pole. West Ham Daz will be second, Hyder Rider third, Steve Scooby fourth, Reg GT fifth, Dory Dory 6th, Big Les Kun 7th, Rear Wheel 72 8th, Rousey and Beba 9th, Don Dotty 10th, Dizzy AL3 11th, and Zuzims in 12th. That should be grid order tonight. We'll see though, it might be a little bit mixed up due to people not turning up. Paddy then coming into the awkward section. You can see the back end of that Renault's a little bit loose coming through there. As I say, the mid rears can be a bit of a handful. He's chucked himself back in the pit, so damage is on heavy in this lobby. So any damage sustained does mean a trip to the pits to get it repaired, otherwise it's going to slow you down in some way or another. And Dizzy always rocking a great big dark smoker sticker down his car, good lad. It's on every side, in fact. Appreciated. GT got one smashed on his wing. He's got tell your mates, tell your mum on his bonnet. Blam! Winnie then. Let's go on board with Winnie as he comes through the mountain section, see how he gets on. So coming up to this, a little lift through here. On the brakes then for this awkward turn up the hill. Quite easy to lose the rear end coming out of there. This slight kink to the right. Should want to try and get full power through this as close to the wall to the right and left as possible. Hit this first apex, let it run out wide, then go for the second apex. Not sure how that runs in these Renaults, I've not driven them myself. Little lift through this left-hander, not to go on the off the track there. Hard on the brakes into the wiggly section down the hill. So most cars I drive, I try to slam it a gear per corner as it comes through there. It's not a bad tactic. Down into second, hard on the brakes for this last turn. Come on, you should have a track map for this. I know you had about 15 sheets for it at the beginning of last season. I know what this is called. This is the Conrod straight. He's firing himself down right now. There you go. The second one in, probably the 5th and the 9th and something else. For some reason I ended up with about 4 copies of Bathurst or Mount Paramount circuit. So that's sort of half a lap on board with Winnie as he comes down through Murray's corner. Start finish straight. Let's just see what time he gets. 2:13.4, 6th place then for Winnie. Fizz Ruckus, how's he getting on? So 8th place, but as I say, it's not a qualifying session. Ewok, how you doing, mate? Not seen you for ages. Trying to remember to look at my computer screen as well tonight, so I don't leave the standings so far up on screen for the first 2 laps of the race, as I did last night. Big Les Kun then trying to just point that car in the right direction, getting it wrong through that mountain section, holding a bit of damage on that front end and back end, in fact. Caused all sorts of chaos to that car. Wheel 72. You put a couple of laps in. Thanks, Ewok. Thanks for the thumbs up. I didn't even read your message, to be honest. I just saw it was you. Hey up, how you doing? Sitting in the pits, Hyde are just coming out. Bit of glitchy going on there from Hyde Rider. family to stay off Netflix while you're racing. Stewie Mac. Always a lively livery from Stewie Mac. So I will pull up standings. Maybe not yet because the race is probably about to start. Just quickly pull that up. So that's current standings. Zuzims is leading the race, the championship. 4 wins in a row. Dotter then in second, Rousey and Babber in third, Dizzy AL3 in fourth, Baggy in fifth, Big Les Cunn in sixth, Rear Wheel 72 seventh, Reg GT 8th, Dory Dory 9th, Weed Hopper 10th, Visricus 11th, West Ham Daz 12th, Steve Scooby 13th, Winnie 14th, Stewie Mac 15th, Hyder Riders 16th, and Pilgrim Paddy 17th. I think I counted them right. Yeah, 17th. Good. So Raoul, he's not looking too bad on this track. He just clips the wall around there though. He's gone on board with Raoul. One of the faster drivers for P1. Oh, he's decided to throw himself back in the pits. I think that means the race is probably just about to start. It is Raoul's lobby, so there you go. You still haven't missed the stickers, Ewok. I've still got stickers, mate. If you want a sticker, send me an email to dartsmoker@googlemail.com. Put an address on there. Oh, while we just watch Pilgrim Paddy do pirouettes as he comes over the hill. Yep, put your address on it in the email, and I'll send you a couple of stickers, mate. That's it. It's darksmoker@googlemail.com. This is how many stickers I've got left. Look, that's my stickers. I've got stickers. I've still got some. So just watch Big Les Cunn trying to chase down Diz. Steve Scooby just hanging out of the way of that one. Like they're running for 20 minutes. It's been sometimes 15. I think the first couple of weeks it was 15, and now they're running for 20 by the looks of it. Unless Raoul is just setting the grid order and getting things set up. As I say, this is not a qualifying. This is just a bit of a practice before the race. Grid order is set up from last week's results. Zuzims will be at the back of the pack. He'll have to fight his way all the way through to try and gain maximum points. He's got all 4 wins from all 4 races so far this season, so looking good early on. Saying he hates this track with a passion. If I ever hit 1 million subs, mate, and get enough to make gold-plated stickers, then yes. Say Hyder Rider just in the PlayStation lobby chat there saying he hates this track with a passion. When you get it right, Hyder, it's a decent track. If you don't know it, you've not had the time on it, it can be a bit of a horrible one. A lot of walls to bounce off. Some dust being kicked up. It's all kicking off now. This is what happens when we wait for the race to start. Right, here we go then. Round 5 of the Renault Megane Trophy Cup. Let's see how they got on off the start. We are live from Mount Panorama, or Bathurst. We're in the mid-rear Renaults. So Pilgrim Paddy then starting from the front. Winnie in second, Stewie Mac third, West Ham does fourth, Hyder Rider fifth, Steve Scooby sixth. I'm not sure why Fizz Ruckus is at the back there, possibly because he wasn't in last week's race. So it's a rolling start. I don't like these. They give too much of a gap, I think. It does make for a cleaner first turn, I'll give it that. So wait for that counter. And they're away. Pilgrim Paddy then leading us through. He's into Hell Corner. Oh, looks like we've got a lobby restart. Okay. Still got issues with lobbies or someone's connection. We gained a couple of drivers. It's 14 or 16 now. Who else is in? Who have I not seen join? Who knows? Stewie Mac going for a bit of off-roading, and he's not even in the race yet. Driving backwards around the track, into the pits, backwards, cause some chaos. No, he stayed away from the pits. It's ghosting out anyway. I'm surprised it's not spinning around itself. Ryder and Fizz Ruckus trying to get a couple of sneaky ones in. Stay off that bit, Hyder Rider. You must have seen what happened in the 24-hour. Right. Let's try again. Yes, Bentley Speed. Yes, I did. Oh, was it 12 hour? I thought it was 24. Yeah, it was some big crashes, some good wins by Bentley. So we'll try this again. Rolling starts. Let's just flick through, see if we've got 13 drivers in, 14 including myself. So Pilgrim Paddy again going to lead us through. Winnie in second. Winnie's not done too bad in these Renaults. So Pilgrim Paddy then heading into Hell Corner. Oh, he's drifting it. He's almost off the track already, is Pilgrim, unfortunately. So he's got a lot of work now to get back on track without causing too much chaos to the drivers behind. So back with Winnie. He's under pressure from Stewie Mac already. Head up the mountain straight towards Griffins. Stewie's got the inside line, he's got the lead. So into Griffins, don't outbrake yourself, Stewie. As West Ham Daz has just done into the wall, Stewie's just clipped the wall as well. But he's still got that lead coming. He's coming up through BP cutting. Hard on the brakes for this second gear, almost hairpin. Again, easy to lose the rear end round there. You may see one or two drivers spinning out. I will just flick through the order. So Winnie in first. Getting past Stewie Mac through there. Stewie Mac in in second. Hyder Rider then not doing too bad a job at the minute, sticking on the back of these two for third. Steve Scooby fourth. Big Les Kun in fifth. West Ham Daz sixth. Reg GT seventh. Realcy Mbeba in eighth. Real 72 in ninth. Dizzy in 10th. Pilgrim Paddy 11th. Zoozims 12th. And Fizz Ruckus 13th. So looks like everyone got through the first section pretty cleanly. Looks like Stewie Max had a moment. He's lost time and position now. He's down in third. Coming under pressure from Steve Scooby. Hyder Rider and Winnie just making a little bit of a break now. 1.5 seconds the gap. Hyder Rider saying he hated this track with a passion. He's not doing too bad at it at the minute. He's closing in on Winnie slowly. It's going to be a brave move to overtake down here. So that's through Caltex and Chase, cleanly through there, the pair of them. Come over the hill then towards Murray's. Hard on the brakes and back around for the start-finish straight. So pulling a bit more time over third place Stewie Mac, 2.2 seconds now that gap. Got Big Les Kun and West Ham Daz side by side as they come down the start-finish straight. Who's going to win out in that one? It looks like Big Les Kun had the inside line there. West Ham Daz having to drop back to fifth. He's got a good run out of that first turn. Reg GT as well. He's got a good slipstream up the hill. West Ham Daz has now just poked a nose in front of Big Les. He's dragging Reg GT through there as well. Big Les has got a bit of a penalty, so I'm not sure why he's picked that up. Oh, that's a camera view, that is. Whoa, nearly gets smashed by Fizz Ruckus. Realcy Mbaba right on his tail as he chases him up the hill into the mountain. Steve Scooby 12th, then Pilgrim Paddy. Unfortunately, we saw him run off track at first turn, down in 13th place. So these front pair then. Lost a little bit of time. Stewie Max closed the gap back up. West Ham Daz is putting him under some serious pressure now. So he's heading into this awkward complex. Big Les Kun is going for a lunge down the inside. That was a good move, bit of contact between himself and Stewie Mac. He's made the place stick, if a little bit controversially. So fourth position then, West Ham Daz fifth. GT right on his tail, dragging West Ham, Rear Wheel 72, Dizzy and Zoozims down that track as well. Might see a move down here. West Ham Daz looking a bit dangerous. Steve Mac's got that. He's got the line into the first little kink. But it looks like West Ham Daz has already got a nose in front. He has, but Reg GT's coming through as well. He's going for a lunge down the inside of Stewie Mac. He's made that stick. That's a good move by Reg GT. Oh, unfortunately, Stewie Mac's got it wrong through there. Spun himself off track. That's going to be a long time getting him back on. So back to the front guys. Big Les Kun slowly piling the pressure on these two in front. He's got it down to just over half a second. Fastest lap of the race there by Big Les. So Winnie's still leading them. Hyder Rider in second. So just half a second between the top three, just over half a second. It's coming down rapidly though, so West Ham Daz is up into fourth position, Reg GT in fifth. Real 72 sixth, holding a bit of a penalty. Zoozims seventh, fighting his way through the pack, trying to get his way to the front. AL3 also with a penalty. Oh, Hyder Rider's got it wrong through the Griffins, and now that's going to compromise him. He's going to get swamped by these drivers now. It's all the faster guys coming through at the back. He's just got to watch he keeps his line, doesn't try and sort of let these guys through. It'll compromise him and them. Realcy Mbaba looking for a way past though. Fizz Ruckus in 10th, a little bit far back, as is Steve Scooby, 5.7. No damage or anything. Struggling a little bit. Stewie Mac, as we saw, driving himself off track at Caltex. Holding a great big penalty as well. And then Pilgrim Paddy, so struggling 13.3 back at the minute, holding a great big 2-second penalty. So Big Les Kun passed We saw Hyder Rider spin himself out from second. So Big Les Cunt up into second place, then West Ham Daz third. He's managed to close the gap on Big Les as well. Reg GT's also in there. Rear Wheel and Zuzim slowly closing in. So let me go for a bit of... Can I do that? Why can't I do that? Let me do that. So we're on board. Let's pick that view. It's a bit more treacherous looking. So we're on board with Winnie, looking back at Big Les Cunt and West Ham Daz. Down the start-finish straight then. Heading down towards Hell Corner. Big Les Cunt dropping a bit of penalty and gaining time on Winnie there. Still West Ham Daz right behind him. Both these drivers getting a good toe up the hill then. You see Big Les closing in. West Ham Daz will literally be bolted onto his rear bumper. Not quite, he's decided to stay behind. Get the toe off Winnie, but he's had to duck out of that one. But Winnie's running himself wide, that's allowed Big Les through. I thought West Ham Daz was going to get through there as well, but he's managed to get back into the right line and block that move off by West Ham Daz. So Big Les Cunt up into first, then Winnie second, West Ham Daz third. Reg GT right on the rear end of this little one. Zuzims as well has managed to get himself past Rear Wheel 72 up into fifth. Good lines there from Zuzims. He's closing in on Reg GT in front. Rear Wheel 72 holding that bit of penalty. Maybe just clipping the wall as he comes up the mountain straight at the end. Raoul's got himself into 7th. Fizz Ruckus 8th. Steve Scooby in 9th. Losing a little bit of time to Fizz Ruckus. Dizzy then struggling a little bit down in 10th. Hyder Rider, we saw him having all sorts of problems as he came into the mountain section in 11th currently. Stewie Mac also had a bit of trouble coming out of the mountain section, so 12th for him, and then Pilgrim Paddy, so not quite dropped that penalty. He did have a poor first lap. He seems to be slowly getting to grips with these Renaults. They are, as I say, mid rears. Just outbraking himself a little bit there. So Big Les then leading this one now, 1.7 seconds the gap he's got over Big Les. Big Les going for a drift around that turn there, not interested in using those tyres properly. Zuzims has managed to sneak through into third. I missed that move, he's managed to get past Reg GT. So yeah, looking for maximum points tonight is Zuzims by the look of it. We are only 10 minutes into the race and he's already snuck his way up into third position. GT's coming under pressure then from Rear Wheel 72. Rear Wheel just lent and let Reg GT keep that one. Tell your mates, tell your mom bonnet. Blue. So the Fizz Ruckus and Rousey and Baba starting to close in and get involved with this fight as well. So it's all going to get a bit tasty coming down the hill again. As they head down Conrod, someone might blow one. Winnie, unfortunately, now down in 8th position, 2-second penalty as well. He's got Scooby slowly closing in on him as they come into the awkward section. So I'm going to take a little mistake through here from Winnie. Steve Scooby will snap that place up. Both drivers keeping it clean though through the mountain and back down the hill. So this fight not quite brewing up as much as I thought. So just to eke out a little bit. Rear wheel 72 going for that move again on Reg GT, gets that position made. Reg GT trying the defensive line, not quite able to hold that position though. So moves down into 5th position. He's decided to throw himself in the pits anyway by the look of it. He does do, so does, who's that else? So Reg GT, Fizz Ruckers, West Ham Daz and Zuzi all in the pits now. Big Les Kuhn stayed out. Got enough fuel on board Big Les. Maybe a touch of fuel saving going on from him, possibly at the end of this lap, we'll see. They are longer than you think. 72 stopped out as well, as has Raul CM Baba. He's looking to make a move on rear wheel 72. Let's have a watch of this from Raul's point of view. So closing in on the bad boy liveried Renault of rear wheel 72. Just read what it says on his rear wing there. Subscribe on YouTube. Thumbs up and all that sort of stuff. So he's still closing in on rear wheel 72. So over Skyline into the dipper. Again, easy to just throw the back end out on some of these cars through here. CM Baba's sticking right with rear wheel 72 though through there. Rear wheel 72 getting a tighter line, he just clips the wall, so Raul's got a good run out already. And he will benefit from the slipstream as well. So he makes the move on. Makes the move on rear wheel. He's currently got a nose in front. He looks like he's going to keep it. We'll see how rear wheel does through this turn. No, he's had to back out a little bit. So Raul CM Baba up into 2nd then. Big Les Kuhn, he's already got 7-second lead over that pair. Into the pits now then for him. He did have enough fuel on board. Raul and rear wheel 72 into the pits now. Steve Scooby's he's out on 4th, coming in the pits now then. He's out on the mediums, he's stopping out. So Zuzim's currently in 2nd then through the top 3 previously chucking themselves in the pits. Won't take them long to be back out though. So 3 drivers heading up towards Griffin's. 72, Big Les and Raul, they've all taken on different amounts of fuel by the look of it to gain those places here or there. Big Les Kuhn then, he was in P1, he's taken on a full tank, racing mediums for him, looking to run long in listing. Already looking to make moves on rear wheel 72, he's only just come out of the pits. He's managed to get in front through there as well. Just moved by Big Les, holding that extra weight, he's managed to manhandle that car through those turns, get himself past rear wheel 72 up into 4th. He's got to try and stick with Raul CM Baba. He's holding less fuel, so his car will be lighter. Not put as much wear on those tyres. He'll have to come in the pits slightly earlier. So Zuzim's now, after being in the pits, is putting in purple sectors, closing in on Dizzy, currently holding P1. Liking your helmet livery, Diz, with the 2 eyes on it. So let's have a look at Zuzim's trying to chase down Dizzle now then. So coming down the Conrod. Absolute full power, closing on him. Another purple sector by Zuzim's. Is he looking to go a little bit defensive? Slightly worried from the attack by Zuzim's. Still closing on him as he head down towards Murray's. So right on him as they head down the start-finish straight, then head down towards Hell Corner. So managing to get straight past then Zuzim's. Does he not deciding to defend too much for that one. Zuzim's up into first then. He's possibly happy to just sit in Zuzim's slipstream. A bit of fuel saving if he can as well. So now up into third. He's got 4.6 seconds back to Dizzy. We'll see how he gets on with closing that gap in. Big Les Kun has managed to claw his way back to Raul. What's he got? Just over half a second. So he's holding all that fuel as well. So when Raul comes in the pits, Big Les will be able to just drive past. Not if he clips the ball like that though. So we're losing a bit of time now to these guys. 1.8 seconds back. Ruckus out the pits in 6th. 2.4 back from rear wheel. He's got Reg GT for company though, just half a second back. We've seen Reg GT is pretty fighty in these things. So West Ham does getting it a little bit wrong through there. Managing to keep it on track though. Oh, a little bit wrong through there as well. Just keeping it off the wall on the exit. I'd say very awkward section, this middle section through the mountain at the top. So it's got a lot of getting used to. Once you've kind of figured it out, it's quite nice. But until then, as a lot of people say, they hate this track. So Steve Scooby's picked up another penalty, 1.3 seconds. Almost 5 seconds back from Hyder Rider in 9th. He's got about the same gap back to Winnie 1989, 9.4 seconds. So we have got a position change in the back. We've got Pilgrim Paddy who's managed to get past Stewie Mack. He's got 3.2 second gap over him, 3.7 now. Oh, Stewie Mack looks like he's hit the wall. He's on the racing hards as well, so going to be running a bit slower. He's holding a big chunk of damage on the front of that Renault, so possibly slowing him down a little bit at the higher speeds. He's got a little flashing wheel as well, so might be getting a bit of a wobble on. Zuzim's, I've missed him take the lead off Diz. He's looking ominous though. Also put in fastest lap of the race has Zuzim's 2:080. Dizzy now 2.7 back. Oh, I didn't miss him take Diz, did I? Took him down the start finish straight. But Raul's only 2.3 back. Slowly closing in on Diz then. Again, similar fuel between those two drivers. Oh no, there's not. Dizzy's wholly not got a lot at all, just under a quarter of a tank. That mistake's cost him. You just saw Raul coming into view there. 1.6 seconds back now. So lost over half a second to Raul there, did Dizzy. Big Les Kun still holding that 4th position. So his car a little bit heavier due to the extra fuel he's holding. So Raul's got Dizzy in his sights then as he heads down Conrod. Closing that gap down to 0.7 of a second then. So he's on a charge at the minute, is Raul. Doesn't want to let Zuzim's disappear up the road. Dizzy decided to come in the pits. That's freed up Raul to start putting in some clean laps without having to worry about getting past Dizzy. He's now 4.8 seconds back from Zuzim's. We'll keep an eye on that time. See whether he can claim any of that back. 3.6 then back for Big Les Kun. Will he get back out before Diz? He does do. Will also gets past. Is he back out the pits then? Big 2-second penalty for him as well. There's Ruckus and Reg GT fighting it out as they head up the hill. Looks like Reg GT's got a slightly better run. He's got the inside line into this turn as well. He's already backed out of it. He kind of kept his nose in. definitely likes a bit of a fight in these Renaults, does Reg GT. Fizz Ruckus looking pretty tasty in them as well though. CJ, evening mate, how you doing? Reg GT almost pushing him around this start of the mountain section. So they head through McPhillamy. Through Skyline and then into the Dipper. Oh, that's going to be a rush when you hit that at speed. So nowhere to overtake down here for Reg GT, not without an absolutely stupendous lunge, which would probably cost him and Fizz Ruckus. Reg GT then, he looks like he drifted it around that last turn to get the car pointing in the right direction and powered through it. So managing to get past Fizz Ruckus quite easily there for that 6th position. Fizz Ruckus didn't look exactly slow through that turn. Just saw Reg GT give it a bit of a drift-a-thon. Looked good, Reg. So Fizz Ruckus trying to drop that penalty, then just being overtaken by Reg GT. West Ham Daz in 8th. He was running in 2nd place earlier. Steve Scooby still running in 9th. Still holding a penalty as well, Steve Scooby. He's managed to close that gap, 8.6 on West Ham Daz. He was about 9.5. He's made time up over Winnie though. He's made 3 seconds over Winnie. Winnie also coming under pressure from Hyder Rider, back out the pits on fresh racing mediums. Half a tank as well. Just stick with this one, see if Hyder Rider can make a move on Winnie as they head up the hill. Might be a little bit far back. Yeah, no way he's going to get that one done. So starting to get a bit fighty between these two. Let's just see how far Zuzins has disappeared up the road. He's got 5.4 second lead over Raoul. 16 minutes of this race remaining. Can Raoul claw him back in? He's pulling a little bit of time back. Very similar fuel strategy. Raoul is holding a little bit more fuel. Big Les Kun then, he's looking to run massively long, possibly to the end of the race with that amount. If he does come in, he will only need tyres, I would have thought. Dizzy then slowly closing in on him. So Diz was also right at the front of this race. Still closing time on Big Les in front. He's still got to worry about rear wheel behind him though. He's only 0.8 of a second back. So a slight mistake, and rear wheel 72 is going to pounce on that. So that gap coming down between Diz and Big Les. Clip the wall there, Diz. Catching right up to Big Les then as they come into this awkward downhill section. Don't overcook it, boys. Oh, Big Les did just overcook it a little bit, clipped the wall. He's going a bit slow through these next set of turns, but again, difficult to overtake. He's looking for the cutback as they come out. Not able to get it, but he's right on Big Les. He's going to get a good tow down the hill. He's looking to make his move early, before even the first kick. They're going to run side by side. No, Big Les decides to chuck himself behind. So Dizzy then promotes himself up into third position, getting past Big Les now down in fourth. Zuzim's now in the pits. So Raul comes past the start-finish line. That's where Zuzim's will be coming out. Dizzy's coming past, as is Big Les. As Zuzim's coming out of the pits now, does he get out in front of these pair? He's not got out in front of Dizzy. He's side by side with Big Les. It is for position. Big Les is going to have the inside line. He's car's length ahead now anyway. So Zuzim's unfortunately having to come out of the pits in fourth position. He's got to fight his way back past three drivers. He's looking fighty. Got half a tank of fuel. Big Les in front. It's a very similar position, but his tyres are a bit more battered. Obviously, he's not just come out of the pits as Zuzim's has. Just allowing Dizzy to run away a little bit. He's got a second gap over Big Les. Big Les is going to, that's all he can see is Zuzim's pink liveried Renault his mirror. So does Big Les keep it clean, not clip a wall this time? He does. Again, nowhere to overtake really through there without causing some kind of chaos. Les fend him off down the Conrod. It's going to be a tall order. Zuzim throws himself over to the right hand side of the track. He's now side by side with Big Les. He's looking to make exactly the same move as Dizzy did the lap before. And he's done that. So you may see Big Les come in for a fresh set of tyres this lap. So holding plenty of fuel. Oh yes he does. Dizzy also comes in the pits as well. Raul's in the pits too. So they've got 11 minutes left on the clock. Zuzim's back up into P1 then. Renault 72 follows him through. He'll have to come in next lap though. Raul just been released, so we've got for another half a tank. Back out of the pits in third. So he's 6.6 back from Zuzim's. 6.7. Les back out, 2.2 back from Raul. Dizzy also back out. He's down in fifth then. Still a little teeny bit of penalty is this. West Ham in sixth, got himself back up a couple of spots. Reg GT seventh. Hyder Rider in eighth. Having too bad a race there, mate. Your lap times aren't too disgraceful or anything like that. You've got 2:08.0. Must have been a little bit of a cheaper 2:08.0 there. So Steve Scooby in ninth. He's got Fizz Ruckus far back 1.2 seconds, so not that far. Conzi Air, I've no idea what Ford is. I'm assuming it's probably an Irish TV channel. Ruckus trying to drop that penalty then as he comes up the mountain. When he's kind of out all on his own at the minute, having a little lonely race at the end of this one. Stewie Mack still holding damage. He's out on those hards. Possibly not doing him any favours. May have to come in for fuel as well. Pilgrim Paddy Still ploughing on at the back. He's just been in the pits as well. Maybe taking on a little bit too much fuel there, Pilgrim. And on the racing mediums also. So let's have a look at Zuzim's then. 7.1 seconds he's now got over Rousey and Baba in second. Big Les Kun losing a little bit of time to Raoul as well. 2.9 second gap now he's got. And Dizzy's 2.8 seconds back in fourth. Willow 72 now in the pits. West Ham Daz, he's already been in the pits. Back up into fifth then for West Ham. I think Willow's just managed to get out before him. Yes, he has. Sneaky. So West Ham Daz unfortunately stays in sixth position. Reg GT then not too far back, seventh position currently. 5.5. Let's have a flick through at people's lap times. So Zuzim's currently holding fastest lap of the race, 2:07.7. Rousey and Baba, he's got a 2:08.1. Big Les Kun has done a 2:09.0. This is on a 2:08.8. Willow 72, 2:10.0. West Ham Daz, 2:09.5. HGT's done a 2:10.0. Rider 2:10.4 as he Driftomatics it into the wall. Steve Scooby follows suit. And he's on a 2:10.6. He's holding front end damage. He's got a bit of a wheel bearing issue looking at that screen there. So Fizz Ruckers, who's just gone past, he's on a 2:10.4. Steve Scooby looked at Winnie, a 2:11.9. Stewie Mac just chucking himself in the pits, 2:17.0. So Stewie Mac not liking this course, even though he is Australian. And this track is also Australian. Pilgrim Paddy, he's done a 2:14.9. So quicker than Stewie Max actually. So back up with Zuzim's 7.9 second gap over Raoul, just extended to 8 there. Big Les Kun is slowly coming back at him. He's got that gap back from 2.7 to 2.3. You can see the gap there visibly on screen. It's not that far. Purple sector from Big Les. Far back either. He's got it a little bit wide through that. It's going to slow him down massively. It was 2.4 seconds back. Looks like he's going to lose about half a second through there. Maybe about a quarter of a second. But trying everything he can to keep that Renault in a straight line. So top four have got a bit of a gap back to fifth place. Rear wheel 72. He's 11 seconds back. Very tall order for him to get any positions. We've got 5.5 minutes left without a mistake from the top four. West Ham Daz 3.8 seconds back, so 3.9 seconds back from rear wheel. Reg GT 7, so he's got 6.2 second gap. Again, it's going to be difficult to try and make any positions up with those kind of gaps without mistakes from drivers in front. So we've got Steve Scooby, Fizz Ruckus battling it out as they come through the first section over the mountain. So into Skyline, down through the dipper. Fizz Ruckus keeping it clean. Steve Scooby keeping it clean. Oh, a bit of a drift on the exit from Steve Scooby. That's going to lose him a bit of time to Fizz Ruckus in front. So yeah, you can see that gap visibly bigger now. Fizz Ruckus not quite getting the entrance to that one right. It's going to allow Steve Scooby to come back at him. Rider is currently no threat. He is 6.6 seconds back. But He's also holding 4.5 seconds, almost of penalty. He's got to be careful with that. If this is how he finishes, he would actually lose that position to Winnie 1989 currently, because he's only 4.3 seconds back. Just extending to 4.4 there, but see, I'm sure he'll lose a bit of it at some point coming into one or two of these corners. So Stewie Mac in 12th, over a minute back then from Winnie in 11th. And Pilgrim Paddy himself is also a minute back from Stewie Mac. Yeah, this track's not to suit everyone. Susie's extending a little bit more. What's he, 8.3, so making up about 0.3 of a second over Rowell in second. So keeping it clean on the exit onto Conrad. So you can just see Zuzim's disappear over the hill. Les Kun losing time again to Rowell. Starting to slip away, although it's good points for him. Third position, another podium. Dizzy, not bad points on the board for him either. Fourth position, so 3.2 seconds back from Big Les. Again, tall order is going to be, I think this is going to be the last lap for these four drivers. So yeah, they crossed the line in time. I think rear wheel 72. Just he's over the line. All right. Yeah, so they're going to get another lap in. Rider losing a bit more of that penalty. Hunty, evening mate, how you doing? Just coming to the end of this one. Stewie Mac holding on to that damage for the rest of this race by the look of it. Currently down in 12th position. Pilgrim Paddy still slogging his way around this track. I've got to give it to Pilgrim Paddy. He's also holding damage. He does have a bit of a difficult time in some of these races, and a lot of people would have quit this game, dashed his PlayStation out the window, but Pilgrim Paddy, I'll tell you what, you stick with it, mate. You'll only get quicker. For some reason you're only tickling around the track. I think you're trying to run time out so you haven't got to do another lap. So we're on with the Zuzims then. 9-second lead over Raul Siem Baba. 40 seconds remaining on the clock. So a few of these drivers will get another lap in. Pilgrim Paddy there just chucking himself off to the side of the track, just get himself out of the way of Zuzims, and also just let that timer run out. Looking like he doesn't want to do another lap round here, so Zuzims crosses the line for the last time. For the last lap. Siem Baba is also over. Les Kun is over. Who else are we going to see? Dizzy's over. I don't think we're going to see Rear Wheel get another lap in. So that's it. Rear Wheel's going to take 5th position. West Ham Daz is going to take 6th. Stewie Mac 7th. West Ham Daz might lose that. If Reg GT is anywhere close, he's not. So West Ham Daz takes 6th. Great big handbrake from Reg GT for 7th. We like the handbrakes across the line. Pilgrim Paddy's already crossed. We saw him waiting at the end of the lap there. Stewie Mac has also crossed the line. So we just wait for Fizz Ruckus to come through. 8th position for him. And Steve Scooby for 9th. Awesome handbrake across the line. Tyres squealing everywhere. Hyder Rider ticking himself over. Handbrake from him as well. Thank you. 10th. Winnie in 11th. And we just wait for, let's find them. Zuzims then comes out the mountain section. Down Conrad for the last time. He's kept that gap at a second between himself and Raul. Now just coming down the Conrad as his big Les. And Dizzy AL3 in 4th. So through this last little complex. Consistently fast is Zuzims. So he just comes around the last turn. Comes across the start-finish line. Little flash of his lights. And a handbrake. So first place for Zuzims. That's a good race, mate. Got Raul CM Baba coming home in 2nd. Tried a handbrake but failed. German engineering crapped out. Big Les in 3rd and Dizzy AL3 in 4th position. So that is results for tonight. We were in 5th. West Ham does 6th. Some other people in a list with numbers next to them, but they've disappeared off screen. That's how that works. But yeah, really good race from Zuzims and Raul. Dizzy as well. All came from the back of the pack. Fought the way through, got the strategies right. Yeah, some good racing. Big Les as well. No, don't count out Big Les. Your German engineering Raul failed in the handbrake turn at the end. That's not cricket. Baggy, where have you been? Huh? Not a comment, not nothing from you. Huh? I'm still waiting, Baggy. Where have you been? Sneakily, stealthily watch my streams without chatting. That's not cricket. And yes, well done all, Sean Daniels. It was some good racing. Dizzy saying damage. Boo. Yeah, nobody likes damage, mate. Nobody likes damage. Sleeping. Oh. Need to set your alarm for my streams. Sleep for everything else. Yeah, so that was round 5. Round 6 next week. Same time, same place. I am actually racing tomorrow night. I'm not streaming it because I'm going to try not streaming and racing and see whether I can actually race for a change instead of you know, chatting to you lot and like forgetting my braking point or steering myself off track or just being a general clown behind the wheel. So yeah, I think I'm gonna race without streaming and probably still do a post race. Oh, there's more time. Oh my god. Possibly a post race thing, so I can actually concentrate on the racing instead of crashing into walls and spinning off track. I was hoping to do really well at Nürburgring last week and flopped the show. And a few of my mates have even said it, just shut up and drive, you idiot, you're quick, just shut up. So I'm going to give it a go. And if I can figure it out, if it works, then that's how I'm going to do my racing from now on. I'm going to race and then chat about it afterwards. We'll see, because I do stay out the group chats and things like that. It does always play with my head when I'm chatting, hearing other people clicking gears and talking about their day and dogs. And Mrs. comes in, Hunty. Not Hunty, but his mate's missus came in. He was effing and blinding at full tilt at like midnight, 1 in the morning. Next thing you know, you hear the door bust open. It's his wife. She's effing and blinding. He's effing and blinding back. It was chaos. I'm sure she was telling him, "Oh, turn that thing off," screaming and shouting. Think of the kids, that kind of stuff. It was great listening to it all live. Ah, it was funny. Well done, Hunty. I appreciated that, mate. I had a little giggle to myself about it. So yeah, there is racing tomorrow night, but I'm not going to stream it. And then I'm actually back on Sunday night for the P1 boys again. That is their Super Formula, the Super Formula 19, so basically the F1 cars. And then I'm back Monday night at 8:30 for Next Gen Minis. That's sponsored by Chibit Racing, so make sure you come check that out. That's always a little punch-up fights going on all over the place in there with the minis. They're good. And then back Wednesday at 8:30 for Next Gen Team versus Team GR3 event. There's some of these P1 boys have entered into that as well. Not doing too bad behind the wheel either. So I think we've got Zuzims in Pro. Don Dotter, were you? Oh no, you think you might be the minis. You're in the minis, and Zuzims is in the minis. I think we've got Big Les, Pilgrim, is it Pilgrim Paddy, and 1 or 2 others in the Pro-Am. Yeah, 2 lobbies of that, 2 lobbies of the minis. And then back Thursday for round 6 of this. I forget where it's from. Yes, Baggy, I should. Scared, that's what I think. Scared to chat to you during a race. Yeah, well, you know. Yeah, see, my mate said it the other day. He said, you're all right. Like, let's say at Berg, down the sort of semi-straight bits, chat away. But stop chatting way before you need to like think about a corner. That's my problem, as I'm talking into the corners. I'm fucking it up. Sworn. Oh my god. It's your fault, Baggy. Making me get all kind of hyped up about racing. Anyway, forget that. This channel's not for kids anyway. So that's my lineup. You know what's coming. If I don't see you before, I'll see you on Sunday night. Tell your mates, tell your mum. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of it.